So here's the Srimad Bhagavatam, the one volume issue. So maybe you want to pick in the side just to see where we're going to have the nectar coming from today. By the Bhagavatam Mystic Surprise. Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Maharaj Ki Jai, Srila Bhakti Rakak Srila Maharaj Ki Jai. So we are reading the story of King Prithu, who made 100 horse sacrifices. Shall I read it?
Yes.
Okay. Ahu sarva rasan sadva actually the Sanskrit is so small, it's very hard to read. The flowing rivers supplied all kinds of tastes, sweet, pungent, sour, etc. And very big trees supplied fruit and honey in abundance. The cows, having eaten sufficient green grass, supplied profuse quantities of milk, curd, clarified butter, and similar other necessities. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada writes, if rivers are not polluted and are allowed to flow free in their own way, or sometimes allowed to flood the land will become very fertile and able to produce all kinds of vegetables, trees and plants. The word rasa means taste. Actually, all rasas are tasted within the earth, and as soon as the seeds are sown in the ground, various trees sprout up to satisfy our different tastes. For instance, sugarcane provides the juice to satisfy our taste for sweetness, and oranges provide the juice to satisfy our taste for a mixture of the sour and the sweet. Similarly, there are pineapples and other fruits. At the same time, there are chilies to satisfy our taste for pungency. Also, the earth is ground. Also, the earth's ground is the same. Different tastes arise due to different kinds of seeds. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ambija pratapita, bija mam sarvabhutanam. I am the original seed of all existence. Therefore, all arrangements are there. And as stated in the Ishopanishad, Purnam idam, complete arrangement for the production of all the necessities of life are made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. People should therefore learn how to satisfy the Yajna Purusha. Lord Vishnu, indeed, the living entity's prime business is to satisfy the Lord, because the living entities, part and parcel of the Lord. Thus, the whole system is so arranged that the living entity must do his duty as his constitutionally made, as he is constitutionally made. Without doing so, all living entities must suffer. That is the law of nature. The words Sharanav, these words indicate very luxuriously grown, big bodies trees. The purpose of these trees are to produce honey and varieties of fruit. In other words, the forest alone has a purpose in supplying honey, fruits, and flowers. Unfortunately, in Kali Yuga, due to an absence of yagya, there are many big trees in the forest, but they do not supply sufficient fruits and honey. Thus, everything is depending on the performance of yagya. The best way to perform yagya in this age is to spread the Sankirtan movement all over the world. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai.
What's the text number?
The text number is Canto 4, chapter 19, text number 8. What a beautiful verse, huh? Maharaj, I request you to give us some illumination on this.
So, just a moment. What am I doing? Why is it not coming? Om Agyanam Timirindasya, Canto 4. What? 4 what?
419.8.
419.8.
Do you wish to have some water to drink?
No, I'm okay. 8. Go. Uhu Salvarasan Nadia, Shiradadi Anago Rasan, Taru Buri Vasmana Prasoyanta Madhu Chutaha. The flowing rivers supplied all kinds of taste, sweet, pungent, sour, etc. And very big trees supplied fruit and honey in abundance. The cows, having eaten sufficient green grass, supplied profuse quantities of milk, curd, clarified butter. Is that the place?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
shloka.
And similar other necessities. Om Agyanam Timirindasya Gyananjaya Salakaya Shakshu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I first of all offer my humble obeisances to my spiritual master, Om Vishnu Pada Astu Tarasashi Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, and also to my Sannyas Guru, Om Vishnu Pad Astu Tarasashi Srimad Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to the personality who actually, without whose activity none of us will be here. I wouldn't know you, I wouldn't know Maharaj. Om Vishnu Parastu Tarasashi Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Without whose help we will not be here.
Hari.
And with whose help we are all reading this Srimad Bhagavatam, the crest jewel of the Vedic literatures. Now, we know of Prithu Maharaj. We know his reasons where he appeared. He's actually an incarnation, an empowered incarnation of the Supreme Lord. When there is misunderstanding in the world due to leaders by whose mood they think they are the Ishwaras. You know, we have Param Ishwara, who is Krishna himself. Then we have these small Ishwaras, so-called, who are trying to dominate the world. Then what happens is that they, by their negative activities, they create so much negative vibrations in the world, and things go bad. We are in this period now, this period that we are. Everything in the world is meant for us. God, Krishna has created everything. If we take good, there is sufficient, for it very successful and happy. But because of our greed, we are accumulating, we are hoarding, we hoard. One person will hoard billions and billions of dollars and he's still not satisfied. He wants more and more. There are countries who have sufficient to take care of their citizens. But what is happening? They want more and more. So there are people who are having too much and people who are having too little. So within this, what happens? Because there is the disparity in society, there is no happiness. Happiness actually comes when one realizes all these things that are meant to satisfy Krishna, not to satisfy us. So if one person accumulates more and another person doesn't have, then there is, inequality, and that inequality leads to what? Unhappiness in society. Krishna has created each and every living entity with variety. Just as Srila Prabhupada is saying here, when you put sugarcane down in the ground, it comes out with sweet taste. And if you put one seed, like a chili seed in the ground, it comes out with a pungent taste. It is the same ground that is producing all this. In the same way, each and every one of us, we are all devotees, part and parcels of the Lord. But those parts and parcels, we actually different part and parcels of the Lord. You remember, there may be parts that are coming from the foot. They are also part of the Lord. From the hips, from the head. So when you go to the spiritual world, there are many living entities who have different races with the Lord. Ras here means relationship. They are tasting some relationship with the Lord, but those relationships are in different formats. So we know that there are 5 races that, actually 5 plus primary ras plus 7 secondary ras. And those 5 primary ras are what? Who knows? Anybody can tell me 5 ras? Santa ras, Dasya ras. No, go accordingly. Sakya ras and Vatsalya ras and Madhurya. These 5 primary ras. And each and every one of us, we are actually worshiping the Lord and relating to the Lord with these races. And because of this, in this material world, there seem to be different levels of religions. The different levels of religions are also because we are in different races. And even within our own, the Gaudiya, we can see those races are there. But within those races in Vrindavan, each and every one is having different relationship with the Lord. You follow me? We all have different relationship. So those in Dacia Ras, even though they are relating to the Lord, they cannot be in material Ras. But those who are in material Ras can relate to all the other races, and even with the secondary races. So in essence, the Lord is providing each and every one of us with these abilities, with this, relationship, so that we can worship Him, we can relate with Him, we can serve Him. If we do not use the things that have been created in this world, the Lord Himself have, created to give Him service, then there's a problem. So Prithu Maharaj had to appear in this world because before, the leader who was there was so much, a dictator, and had created a turmoil in the world. So the earth can produce so much, but if these leaders who are negative are controlling it, Mother Nature becomes very, very, restraining in giving. That is why at one point she was so much distressed that she had to go to Lord Brahma. That, look, I can't stand it anymore. Something had to be done. And Lord Brahma had to take all the, the devotees to Sweetadweep. And on the banks of the Milk River, they had to pray to the Lord. And the Lord said, I am appearing in the world, but before I come, everybody should, all my associate and the demigod should appear in this world before me. And so when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you can see the progression of the Lord coming, all the disciples and the demigods coming. But when you read, sometimes some of the activities of the, the disciples or the devotees, you may say, but these are the devotees of the Lord. Why are they performing things like that? No, because many of them who are coming, they are not pure devotees as such, but the progression gradually. But all of them are coming, building up to when Krishna himself will appear in this world. So when you read the Bhagavatam, sometimes you read certain things and you say, but we are reading this. What makes it so perfect or pure that it is recorded in the Bhagavatam? It is because all these are alluding finally to the appearance of Krishna in Vrindavan. If we think of it this way, that's why they say the Bhagavad Purana is pure. Because all the personalities who have come before Krishna were all preparing the way for the appearance of Krishna. You follow me? So, in the same way, you read the story of Prithu Maharaj. And when you read the story of Prithu Maharaj and how Prithu Maharaj manifested in this material world, you say, wow, this is wonderful. I know many of you have read the story. You know about the story already. I will not expatiate on the story, but I will give you the essence of what the story stands for. And the essence is that in this world, we are all devout servants of the Lord. But those servantship, we have relationship by which we are performing our activities. So those who are in Madhurya Ras, in Vrindavan, the gopis you can see that their mood of service to Krishna is very, very, high, that we all want to copy that. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Krishna himself was on this planet, what did he say? He said, Na parayeham. I cannot repay you, especially Radharani. I cannot repay you for all this service, for all this. What is the service for? Love. And Radharani is their abode of love. I cannot repay you. So when he came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the mood of Srimati Radharani, what did he come to do? He had his own internal, reasons why he came. But one of the major external reasons for Krishna coming as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to what? Induct devotees into the service of Radharani. You follow me? So he came to teach Radha Dasyan, the mood of Radha Dasyan. And so our acharyas in the Gaudiya tradition, all of them are trying to serve in that mood. That is why, and who is the head of the Radha's maid servant? Who is the head? Who can tell me who is the head of Radha's maid servant? Yes, Srila Rupa Goswami. That's why we are called Rupa Anugas. Our acharyas are called Rupa Anugas. So we are trying in all essence to imbibe what our acharyas have taught us in that line. So if we do that, eventually we also will get the mercy of the Rupa Anugas, who are original, associates of Lord Krishna. They are called, what? Who are Rupa Anugas and what? What is the people in Vrindavan? The original associates of Krishna. What are they called?
Subhasudana.
Yes, what are the name?
Shakas?
No. There's a special name they give them, they call them. I'm forgetting. It's no Raganuga, but those Raganugas who follow the Ragatmika Bhaktas. Ragatmika Bhaktas are those associates of the Lord who have come with him from the spiritual world. They are not, getting, learning how to become lovers of Krishna. They already have that love within them. But when Ragatmika Bhaktas train people who are Raganuga Bhaktas. Anuga means to follow. So those Raganugas, they try to follow the Ragatmika Bhaktas. So if we understand it this way, it becomes very essential. So personalities of like Prithu Maharaj, even though they came long before, but they were building the way for us. So they were showing us how a king can actually facilitate how a king can facilitate the success of the citizens, the happiness of the citizens. So when Krishna came, because he's Krishna himself, everything in the world became more pronounced. In Vrindavan, everything was there because Krishna has everything. And when Radharani is there, Radharani is who? The original, Lakshmi. Is that not it? She's the original Lakshmi. When she's there, the world becomes very glorious. Everything is there. So in the same way, when the king who is following in that mood is there, everything becomes glorious. So in essence, in conclusion, Prithu Maharaj, because he was a great king, he served the Lord with all intent, and he is actually incarnation of the Lord. The earth became very glorious and produced to the satisfaction of every citizenship. In the same way, when we come to Vrindavan, like the Yamuna, if we have good leaders, the Yamuna will be flowing and it will be crystal clear water. Ganga will be the same. But we are getting to that level gradually. Hare Krishna. Vanchakapata Rivyascha, Kripa Sindhya Vacha, Patita Nampa, Nibyo, Vaishnava Byo, Namanama. Okay, you go.
Okay, Maharaj. Gurudev Guruchandraya, Radhikatikalaye, Krishnaya Krishnadattaya Tadataya Namo.
Sant Maharaj ki jai, Ishvara Prabhu ki jai, Touchstone Media ki jai.
Narayana Namaskritana Machavana Vatanam, Devam Sasati Vyasam, Tata Jangadiraye, Nasa Payesu Abadri Suditam Bhagavata Sivaya, Bhagavati Samas Loka Bhakta Bhajanastake, Vedi Ramane Java, Purani Bharati Tata, Aduvadi Jamadi, Harisavati Giyati, Mokam Karatu Archalam Pangula Gaitikui, Yakipatam and the Sriguri, Jikinatari. Vanchakapatru Vyascha Kripasi So, Maharaj has spoken nicely about especially the way this verse was put, the way this verse was put, very, very poetic, in a very poetic way, in terms of what the rasas. Of course, every verse in Bhagavatam is sort of very, very poetic. And because it's not just ordinary poem, that every verse of Bhagavatam is such that we can extract all kinds of rasas from every verse. It mentions here the flowing rivers supply all kinds of tastes. So the tasteless ras, all kinds of. When he mentioned that Sukadeva Goswami, who was the original speaker of Bhagavatam, he said, Mohura Rasika Bhavi Bhavaka, that drink this nectarian ras, nectar that is coming from the mouth of Sukadeva Goswami. So essentially, like we are reading Bhagavatam, and when we read Bhagavatam, the Bhagavatam itself is tasted from the mouth of a Rasik Vaishnava, Rasik devotees. All the Bhagavats, or Bhakta Bhagavats, the person who is the embodiment of Bhagavatam. So, this verse which explains because initially in the beginning when Prithu Maharaj, when he was, there was no, because he was just, he came after King Vena, because King Vena, he was a very, very cruel person, very, very irreligious person, King Vena. And so because of during the rule of King Vena, so the Earth planet withdraw the supply of all the necessities of life because the king was bad. The king was irreligious. So the earth withdrew all the necessities of life. There was famine, so much pestilence, many things were there. So when Vena was so bad, so the sages, they have to get together and said, okay, now something must be done. Because the sages, they always there, they are full of compassion for the humanities. So the sages got together, so they had to kill this Vena. So Vena was killed, and then King Prithu Maharaj came as an incarnation, as an incarnation of the Lord. So when Prithu Maharaj, when he began this ruling, the first thing is to make sure that all the citizens have enough supplies, have enough necessities of life. After all, when we say praja means praja means coming from the citizens, praja who have praja. And the king, he sees the praja, the citizen, just as his own children. So just, as I said, a real leader is the one who is very, very responsible. There's no point calling someone a leader and is not responsible. So the leaders in the Vedic time, they are very, very responsible personalities, which means how to make life, how to make sure the citizens, the people, they have all the necessities of life being available to them. So when Earth planet, because of the situation of King Vena, and then she had withdrawn everything. It means nothing was growing. It's full of famine and everything. She withdrew everything. So Prithu Maharaj, he had to actually by force bring Earth planet to order. By force. Because Prithu Maharaj was so very powerful, but was not only he was so powerful person. So through his force, through his strong admonition of the earth, Mother Boni, then so Mother Earth, she complied. She complied, and then she told Prithu Maharaj how he must level the earth, and then from this, and then from there the Kamadenu, so be able to nurture the earth. So in this way, the earth became fertile. So the earth became fertile, so everything was growing, the river flowing nicely, and then where there is river and everything, so then all the necessities, the vegetables grow, everything, all the necessities of life are grow, vegetables, the minerals, all these things are growing. And especially specifically mentioned here that Prabhupada say here that if rivers are not polluted and are allowed to flow in their own way, or sometimes allowed to flood the land will become very fertile and able to produce all kinds of vegetables, trees, and plants. So this is actually very, very essential, very, very important, that when the rivers are not polluted. I remember in my childhood in Africa, growing up, that we were specifically, right from the childhood, we were instructed not to pollute the rivers, because the rivers are sacred. The rivers are sacred, whereby such a thing as like throwing, there's no such a thing as throwing garbage into the river.